Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel at P English Literature. Today is not about book review. Today I just felt to share something different from book review, but something a little bit related to the literature scene. So I felt to talk about some strategy that would help you become a better reader if you're belonging on improving your reading techniques, if you're belonging on being a better reader. Because most times I had people say, oh, I struggle with reading, or I don't even have time to read. Oh, do you think you can share with me some idea that would improve my reading techniques, or what do you think would be best for me if I should utilize it or practice it that would help increase my reading habit? And so I just felt to make a video about some techniques that in my perception, in my intuition, that I think would help you improve on your reading ability or reading techniques. There are lots of videos out there on YouTube that talks about how to be a reader or how to improve your reading ability. They are actually different. So mine is my own perception on what I thought would be best for you if you want to be a better reader, or if you want to improve your reading ability, or if you're just stuck up, you don't have the time to read and you're like, oh, how can I make time for myself, or how can I even go about being a better reader? So I'm gonna share with you some tips here, basically 4 tips. But before I move into that, I want to show you a book that I've been reading for a day now. I think I started yesterday, so I'm showing you here Philosophical Moves and Stuff by Stephen Peter Oldham. I'm not done with it. I think it has over 322 pages there, but I'm not done with it. When I'm done with it, I'm gonna leave a review of it here on this channel for you to check it out. So the first thing I like to talk about in my video is your concentration. That means psychological concentration. It's actually very, very important if you're reading to concentrate on what you're reading, especially if you're reading a novel, or if you have something that's much more similar to reading a novel. There are a lot of actually reading materials out there, but most people struggle on how to get themselves concentrated. And when I'm talking about concentration, I'm talking about your psychological concentration, because some people can actually be reading a book. Take for instance, you're reading a book. Each week that passes, I find myself thinking of you more, not less. But you are reading a book, but your mind is not in what you're reading. You're probably thinking of something different. Perhaps you're thinking of your girlfriend who just broke up with you, or you're thinking of your bank account or something that could related to that. So I thought if one is reading, you really need to concentrate on what you're reading in such manner it will be able to let you to carry on with it, most especially if you're reading novel, or you're reading a story, or you're reading anything pertaining to anything. Even in general sort of reading, it is highly very important and necessary for you to concentrate on what you're reading. Try as much as possible to avoid absent mindedness, to avoid being in physical reading but your mind is out of reading. Your mind is somewhere else. Your mind is in the movie, or your mind is in the football field, and you're actually holding a book, but you are not in the book. What I actually do most time is that I get myself engulfed in the book I'm reading. I follow up with the book. I put my spirit in it, and as the story keep forwarding, or the novel keep moving, I keep following it time by time. In such manner, you'll be able to fall in love with it, and you see reading as an easy thing, as something that's much more important and very nice. So the number 2 strategy I would like to share with you is to try as much as possible to avoid a lot of distraction, a lot of things that can actually distract you from reading, most specifically when it has to do with your hand phone. Maybe your phone, you're holding a phone in your hands and you're holding a book in your hand. There's no way the two things can balance together. Most times when I want to read, I make sure that my phone is put on silent, or sometimes I just turn it off because I actually don't want distraction. So but most time, if I leave my phone beside me and I want to concentrate on reading, I get myself engulfed in it. It's actually not going to work, because I might be reading and a message drop in. I can say, oh, Buhari has just done this, or Joe Biden has done something else, or there's something out there in the news, or there's one trending something that a particular celebrity or comedian has just done. So all those things causes distractions, and it will be very, very difficult for you to concentrate. So most times I love to put my phone on silence. Perhaps I just lock them in the drawer, put it on eye speaker, so when I have a call I can know, oh yeah, I have a call. But anything aside call, because most times internet and social media could be very distracting, could be a time consuming thing. You just pick up your phone and you find out that you spend 7-8 hours on your phone and you are reading. So it's actually a bad idea, and I solely recommend that you avoid distraction that has to do with your phone, because most times phones have more disadvantages when it comes to creating distraction than the few advantage or many advantage it offers us. So the next tip I would like to share with you is that you should be passionate about books, be passionate about reading, just love how to read, because actually this seems to be the number one, because you cannot do what you don't love. There's no way you can cope doing what you do not like to do. There's no way you can cope doing what you find very difficult to do. So I would solely recommend that you get passionate about reading, get in love with books, get in love with, even if you are a starter, just pick up something, try and read. You can try it today, and maybe tomorrow try it again, and next tomorrow try it again. Once you try doing something over and over again, it becomes an habit. And so I want to encourage you, that's number 3 step, is that you should get passionate about reading, be interested in reading, be intrigued by it, and as such they're gonna improve on your reading techniques or ability. The last but not the least techniques I'd like to share with you in this video is that you should set up a time for reading, set up a goal for reading. Most people are preoccupied with their works and they hardly have the time to pick up a book to read. And what I would actually advise in this category is that you should set up a time that you feel most times would be a free time for you, or that you feel most time would be a leisure time for you. So you can just pick up a time. Perhaps you would like to read early in the morning before going to work, or you would like to stay awake at night and read a particular novel or a particular book that you've been longing to read. And so I would advise that you should set up a goal, and also a goal would help you if you would like to read this particular book for a particular day, or you would like to read 100 pages in a day, or you would like to start first with reading 50 pages in 3 or 5 hours, and the next you can improve it to 100 pages in 5 hours, and again you can improve it to 150 pages in 5 hours, and that's how you just keep moving on and on, you keep improving on it. So I solely recommend that you should set up a goal, set up a target, set up a time that, oh yeah, I should finish this book tomorrow evening, or I should finish this book today, or I should finish this book next week. And as such, setting up a time or setting up a goal for your reading ability would help to improve your strategies of reading, and you just got yourself falling in love with books. You just feel yourself loving books anyhow, and you cannot just do it well without them. And these are just my 4 techniques that you really need to know if you would like to improve your reading ability. And as you just know, reading is one of those best thing to do. It is one of those things you really need to do if you want to improve on yourself in your financial ability or your financial strength. You need to read a book about finance. If you want to get medication, or you want to get to know 1 or 2 things about the geography of a particular country or continent, you have to read a book about the geographical location of such continent or such country. And if you want to read a book about the history of a particular nation, about a Greek or the Russian history, you should get a book about Russian history. If you want to read a book on how to overcome addiction, how to overcome drug addiction, or 1 or 2 things, or mental health, read a book about it. So I felt that books are oceans of wealth, they are oceans of information, and they are like a part of our lives. And one of those things you need to do if you want to be successful, or if you want to make it in life, is that get in love with books, read books. There are a lot of books out there. There are solutions in books, and there are power in reading. And so far I've been reading, I've discovered that, oh yeah, there is power in reading. And as such, most people do not have the time to read, or most people just prefer to listen to audiobooks, listen to reading ebooks, whatever format you would like to read. Either you're gonna read in paperback, or you're gonna read in hardcover, or you're gonna read an ebook version, or you're gonna listen to audiobooks. Whatever means you're gonna do, it is actually actually very important for you to set up a time and look into these 4 strategies that I've shared with you to able to help you develop your strategy of becoming a better reader. Number one is that you should concentrate on what you're reading. Be psychological, concentrated. Don't get distracted. Don't be absent-mindedness even when you are with a book in your hand and you're reading, but your mind is far away from what you're reading. You're presently in Africa, but your mind is in the United States of America. So I actually thought that it is highly very important for you to concentrate whenever you're reading. And number two is that you should avoid every sort of distraction, more specifically to your handset, your phone, or your laptop, or whatsoever thing that you feel will be a distraction to you. And again, it's that you should be passionate about reading. It is highly very important. It's actually something that's much more imperative that you should be passionate about reading. And the last but not the least is that you should set up a time for reading. And as such, doing these 4 easy things would help you improve your reading ability. You just find yourself that you get in love with books and you are very, very important and you're very, very happy about it. So here is my 4 basic techniques. If you have any other techniques you would like to share with me, be sure to leave that in the comment section. And if you find out that these techniques of mine, you're gonna utilize it, or you find it of great advantage, you find it is something, you see it as something that you would like to indulge in, you see it as something that you would like to practice, be sure to let me know about that in the comment section. And also be sure to like the video, leave a comment, and share with your friends who you feel they are struggling with reading, who you feel we need this kind of information, or who you feel will be happy to know about this. Thank you very much for that. So here I want to make another kind of announcement, like I always make in my previous TED video, that P English Literature is now available on Facebook. So like a subsidiary, whatsoever is happening here on YouTube is stylishly going on Facebook. And as such, I want to invite you to like the page on Facebook and be sure to join the group if you are a writer, if you are an author, if you're a book lover, and be sure to engage in one another's posts and be sure to share your work also. Thank you so much for that. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like top up there. Thank you very much. Catch you up in my next video. Goodbye.